Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Croatia is marking the 26th anniversary of its international recognition and 20 years since the peaceful reintegration of the country's Danubian region. The HRT agreement, which established a transition period for the return of eastern Slavonia, Baranja and western Srijem to Croatia, was a key development for the end of the homeland war. It was also one of the most successful peace missions ever carried out by the United Nations. It was completed on January 15, 1998. Without a single human casualty. To mark the two major milestones in Croatia's modern history, a reception was held today in the Town Museum of Ilok for members of the diplomatic corps. President Kolinda GrabarKitarovic spoke at the event. She said when Croatia signed the HRT agreement, it chose peace over war. Peaceful reintegration was a gesture towards reconciliation and community for everyone who regarded Croatia as his or her home, she said.
The Republic of Croatia is and always will be an agent of peace and cooperation for all those who are willing to work with us. Standing here in the proximity of the border with Serbia, we offer a hand of peace and cooperation to our neighbors. We hope that we have a sincere partner in seeking solutions to bilateral issues and cooperating on the challenges we may face in the future.
The president was also in Vukovar today, where she visited the Borovo shoe factory, which has relaunched production of its iconic Zenga work boots. The sturdy shoes were worn by soldiers during the Homeland War and became a symbol of the fight for independence. The president also wore them during the Remembrance Day procession in Vukovar last November. Borovo is moving forward with production of the boots and has opened 600 new jobs, despite the company's financial troubles.
I visit Borovo often. Today, I am here because Borovo is relaunching production of the Zenga boot. I am thrilled that after the procession in Vukovar, so many people in Croatia and abroad recognized not only the symbolic value, but also the quality of these Borovo-made work boots. I am also pleased that the relaunch has resulted in new jobs.
Prime Minister Andrej Plenković, in a statement on the occasion of the double anniversary, underscored that Croatia had achieved many key strategic goals over the past few years and announced that his government would press on with reforms. Croatia's fallen veterans were honored with a wreath-laying ceremony at the Homeland War Memorial Cemetery in Vukovar.
Thanks to the political vision and wise statesmanship of Croatia's first president, Franjo Tuđman, the heroic sacrifice of Croatian veterans, and skilled diplomacy, the Croatian people were able to achieve independence despite the aggression of the Milošević regime and an unfavorable international climate. In terms of the economy, we cannot be satisfied with the progress that has been made, and we cannot talk about reintegration because, unfortunately, its effects have been extremely minor in this area. We can even make the argument that part of the reason young people are leaving the region today is that the peaceful reintegration process was not fully implemented. Unfortunately, peaceful reintegration was not brought to its full conclusion. War criminals have not been brought to justice. Reparations have not been paid. Until these issues are resolved, we cannot say peaceful reintegration has ended.
The preliminary numbers are in for Croatia's tourism industry in 2017. Croatia saw nearly 18.5 million visitors last year, which translates to a 13% increase in tourist arrivals. Revenues are expected to hit a record of 11 billion euros. Dubrovnik and Istria County were the leaders in terms of overnight stays. The Ministry of Tourism forecasts that the numbers will continue to rise by 5 to 7%. Meanwhile, investments could exceed 1 billion euros.
Someone is bound to ask, can we accommodate more guests? Yes, we can. The tourism season is growing longer. We can see from these numbers that in the first 6 months of the year and in the postseason, we saw a significant increase in visitors, not only in Zagreb, but in other locations as well, both on the coast and in the interior. Very soon, we will be talking about tourism in Croatia without having to make the distinction between continental areas and the coast.
Unions at the Uljanik shipyard have announced they will begin mediation in response to management's failure to pay workers their salaries for December. Management and labor leaders met today to discuss the issue. Unions have said that if salaries are not paid by the end of the week, workers will go on strike next Tuesday. Slovenia has sent a reminder to Serbia that it must return more than 300 works of art, historical artifacts, and documents that it considers part of its cultural and diplomatic heritage. Among the items on the list is the film The Battle of Neda, a Yugoslav World War II classic made in 1969. The director of the film, Veljko Bulajić, says he is surprised by the request, since it was mostly a Croatian production.
Where did Slovenia get this strange idea that the film is theirs? They are now arguing over it with Belgrade. The most absurd thing is that of all the former Yugoslav republics, these two were the only ones that did not take part in making this film.
One person was injured in a major traffic accident on the A3 motorway near Novska this morning. A tanker truck collided with a truck which skidded into a ditch. The driver of the tanker truck was treated for his injuries at the hospital in Sisak. Police have not issued an official report, but a lack of skid marks indicates that the driver of the tanker may have fallen asleep.
Tomorrow's forecast calls for moderate to heavy clouds. Some rain is expected on the coast, especially in the north, and in the mountains where there may be some sleet and snow overnight. Parts of the northern interior may also see some light precipitation. There will be a light to moderate southwesterly wind on the coast. Gusts may be higher on the north and central sections of the shore. Parts of the Dalmatian coast may also see a southeasterly wind. Morning lows will range from -5 to 0 in the interior and from 4 to 9 on the coast. The day's highs will be between 6 and 11 in continental Croatia and up to 14 on the Adriatic. Cloudy skies and rain are expected on Wednesday morning in the interior. The mountains may see some snow. It will be partly sunny and dry on Thursday. Another system will arrive on Friday, bringing heavy clouds and rain, especially later in the day. On the coast, occasional rain is expected on Wednesday and Friday, with heavier downpours at the end of the week. Thursday will be mostly sunny. Northerly and northwesterly winds are expected on Wednesday, but will fall and shift to a southeasterly on Thursday. Southeasterly winds will pick up speed on Friday.
In sports, Croatia's handball team played an impressive second half against Iceland at the European Championships last night in Split, winning the game 29-22. Croatia has already secured a spot in the knockout phase of the tournament, but the team is still looking to beat powerhouse Sweden tomorrow in its final Group A game.
We've played these two games. Mentally, we've already moved on and are preparing to take on Sweden. This is a very important game because we want to get to Zagreb with 4 points. That's our goal.
And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.